Howdy folks, it's me, Manic coming to you from the Art Villa. Oh, hey, this little buddy. What you doing, little buddy? Mr. Burns just had some dinner. Just coming to you with the spring Manic update. I went from being the Manic painter. I haven't done too much, built a few things, but it's Manic gardening time now, so I'm Manic gardening. And just experimenting with this camera too. There's a light breeze. It's not too bad, but boy, video cameras are really affected by wind. So I have a condenser microphone, an external mic with a sponge mint, if that's what it's called, over top of the microphone. There you go. So what we're going to do is just take a walk around the house and see what's happening this spring, the Manic spring cleanup. All right, well, one thing I did was to take the edging, this box store plastic edging, out of the front of the garden. I've been saving brick, I've been salvaging brick for years, and I decided to edge the garden to pull. Hey there, buddy, what you doing? Did you have a good dinner? Did you have a yummy dinner? Very good. Okay, so what I've done is I've edged all the gardens around and around and around and around all the gardens. Just go through here. I have to cut a lot of this out. Other things are coming in. We've got some nice tulips over here. Some nice tulips in this garden. Very pretty. I want some more edging, edge this. And what I'd like to do is get everything cleaned up before the early spring flowers bloom, you know what I'm saying? So I can kind of enjoy them, free of weeds. Very nice tulips right there. Aren't those pretty? Yes, indeed. More edging. Dogs. This is an apple tree. A yellow apple. This is a real pretty tree. I can't remember what the hell this is called, but there you go. Here's the apple tree. The old apple tree is in full bloom. Oh boy, it smells good. Oh man, this tree, magnolia tree, is about done blooming. This is one of my favorite trees. Don't ask me what it is. The horrible trumpet vine. It comes up all over and it spreads and you can't kill it, but if you can kind of control it, it's really pretty. Made these from architectural metal. From a building, a vintage, a turn of the century building, and basically built a box around it, poured concrete in it, and made these sort of these fake capitals all along here. And I have to put a little more water in the pond. I need to cover up these heads. As soon as the heads are all covered up, I can turn the water on. I've got this glider. Some folks we knew moved and gave us the glider and a chair, and there's another chair I'm working on. It took me a while to restore these chairs, so I just sit back here, and that's pretty much the tour. I do have my favorite tool to show you. This is my favorite gardening tool, the tool I use the most, and it's I think it's exclusive to A.M. Leonard. It's just, I don't know what they call it, a garden knife. What's the word? Ergonomic. The handle just fits your hand just right, and you can see, you know how difficult it is to dig up. Now, I should have just been using a regular shovel, but to dig up irises, to split them up, make it so hard. I was using this, and I'm 6'2" and weigh 225, and I can break something pretty easy. And I did, I broke this. But they guarantee this tool, A.M. Leonard. You look for them online, and they sent me another one. So I took the old one and I welded it together, and it works. I got a new tool and the old tool, which I've welded together. And thank God I got two of them, because I'm always missing one and I go find the other one. But it's not only can you, it's just great for digging weeds and transplanting, anything but irises. Anything but tubers that grow dense, and you crowbar to get out of the ground. And if anybody should come into your yard and give you a hard time, you can always whip out your garden trench knife. And I was thinking, just so that I can be kind of like semi-Manic Mark here for a moment, that I could start my own line of garden tools, which would be tools that you can use for gardening, just like this knife, and street fighting. So, for instance, this tool would have brass knuckles on the end of it, so you'd be able to, dig up your irises and your tulip bulbs and hit somebody in the face that would, give you a hard time with the brass knuckle part of it. And you could stab them too if you wanted to, but gardening's supposed to be a quiet, sort of meditative activity, and I'd recommend just the bash with the knuckles and not an actual knifing where you could. See, there's three different kinds of phlox here. Little blue phlox, purple, and darker purple. Very nice. I came out here yesterday and Hoover had ripped. This is where I broke the knife, okay, that I just showed you. I broke it off digging these tubers, okay? And I came out and he had ripped one out of the ground. I don't know how he did that. Ripped one right out of the ground and was chewing on it. I did that once when I was young. I remember being really young, about, 9 or something like that, 6, I don't know. And it was spring, and, tiger lilies. Well, I went outside and I pulled a couple up, and I'm chewing on the ends of them, right? The green. And they were really tasty, so I ate a bunch of them. The next year I went out, I remembered that, and the next year I went out and pulled some up, but I had the timing wrong, which is why ancient men built Stonehenge. So they knew basically that week window that they could go out and pull up tiger lilies and eat them, and they would taste good. Well, I didn't have a Stonehenge in the backyard, so I had no idea. So I missed that window when tiger lilies are just right for a 7-year-old or 6-year-old to go out and sit and eat his fill of. I used to do that. I used to go around the neighborhood looking for stuff to eat. People had grape arbors and blackberries and strawberries, wild stuff mostly, or stuff people weren't paying attention to, and I used to go and eat it.